Are we taking a risk of having Link out right now?
Yes.
He's going to help. He's got something to say.
He is helpful.
Isn't he helpful? Link is going to eat the microphone and run with it. Link's tail is about to take out the set.
Intro is already ruined.
So welcome to the third episode of the Disc Dog Pod. I am your host, Kirby McElveen, and this is my co-host,
Jeff Hill.
Alrighty, welcome. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed today's podcast. We're going to be talking about freestyle music today. Yeah, I know. That's exactly your first thought.
I can't get too excited. Okay, I'm going to have to
talk
real monotone.
If you get excited, I think Link is going to like that a little too
much.
Oh, God, don't say his name. Here he is. He's thinking about it. So we'll see how much chaos Link causes. We may have technical difficulties here. And that would be Link difficulties, yes. To be clear. So I thought we would kick this off by just kind of doing a little guessing game about freestyle songs, and then also, pick out our favorite songs that we've used, that other people's used, and I just want to talk about freestyle music because I think it's controversial, but not. It depends on your taste. It could be controversial. I think it's fun to talk with you about it because I think a lot of people have opinions on your freestyle music choices, but we will get to that later. I think there's some very strong opinions on just music choices out there for sure. So I think I'm just going to address that right away.
Oh, man, just throw it right out.
So I know you're really excited to discuss freestyle music, and we are both we have a lot of, just to give some background to people out there that don't know us, we have a lot of crossover in our personal music tastes. So it's kind of funny because I hear a lot of the, what's a nice way to say negative opinions about your freestyle music. And I'm kind of just sitting there giggling because it's totally my type of music. So,
and
I've used some stuff, but I'll get in more detail about the specifics of that. But so I think this is a really fun topic, especially for us to talk about, because we have, since day one, talked about.
Yes.
I think when I met you were wearing a 9 Inch Nails shirt.
Yes.
So,
Megadeth 9 Inch Nails.
Yeah, I knew right away. So I knew right away we had music in common. We're going to be friends over that. But,
yes.
Yeah, so I think let's start it off with I think just something fun would be to guess each other's first freestyle song, and I'm really hoping you don't know mine because
okay, then I probably got it wrong.
I am horribly embarrassed, and if you don't know it, I may not reveal it because I don't know if I can deal with the shame.
I won't be able to pick it then because
know it.
I probably know the song, but so I'm gonna say Awesome.
No,
I know. I thought that did come a little bit later, like a year after you started, maybe. But I just can't.
I think we played this game on a long drive before, and you got really close. You guessed my second freestyle, so I'll give you another guess.
Dang it! I didn't have another guess plan. Actually, we didn't talk about any of this, by the way, so we're not prepared.
No, I just blindsided you with this, and I also didn't look up your first freestyle song.
Yeah, well, we'll get to those too. But the other one. I was thinking of a Prince song, and I can't think of the name because you did more than one. What?
That was not the first.
Yeah,
I didn't even know who Prince was. I don't think when I first started. I don't think I knew who Prince was.
So, what was your first song? You have to say.
Okay, so your first freestyle song. I think.
Subject change.
Okay, I'm gonna guess yours, and you tell me if I'm right. Even if you maybe don't know what it is. I think it was Suffragette City. But
Suffragette City.
Is that how, no, because that's not how he says it in the song. By David Bowie.
Yes, it's Suffragette City.
He says it in the song, like it says Suffragette.
It's related to
I don't even know what
women's suffrage, right? Someone please tell me if that's true. Anyways,
I liked it.
It's most people don't know the name of the song. It's Wham Bam, Thank You Man.
Yeah,
and he goes da. That's kind of like how, almost like the Batman thing, but it's not a real heavy song or anything like that. It's rock. I was just, in a weird way, I was just getting into Bowie at the time. And
really?
Yes, I was not into David Bowie, but here's a crazy thing. When you said we're going to determine our first freestyle songs, we're trying to remember. I'm not 100% sure if that's the song. I think it is, but there was another song at the time that I also did. And do you know what it was?
No.
It also had David Bowie. That should help.
Oh.
Ding, ding, ding.
Oh, no, stop it! Don't. I knew what it was.
What is it?
Oh, it's Under Pressure.
Yes, I did Under Pressure at the same time.
Did you do it?
Yes. And my idea for doing
slow.
Under Pressure was like, you're under pressure.
I love that song, but it was too slow for freestyle.
I don't remember if I mixed what I did with the mix, because I always mix my songs, almost always. I do something to them. But yes, so that's mine. So then what is yours?
But Under Pressure wasn't one of the first ones you must have only used that like once.
I used it maybe a couple times. I was switching a lot the first year.
I remember the Wham Bam, Thank You Ma'am.
I didn't know what I wanted to do really. Well, what I wanted to do, I didn't do early on. That's what I should say, because I was trying to appease judges, and then I decided
you did it later.
I'm going to just play what I want.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about what we think.
What was your first song? I'm just going to keep saying it.
You really don't know?
I know. If you say it,
come on.
It's been too long.
You brought it up like the other week, and I was like, get that out of your mind right now.
It's
Through the Fire and the Flames, Dragon.
Oh my God! Wow, that's right. I think I did guess that before. But here's the thing.
Okay, I'm done. Bye-bye. I'm out.
I've got some very strong opinions about that.
Really? What are those opinions? Link has opinions too. Here he is.
I think that song is freaking awesome. And I'm embarrassed by it because I don't like the band. I don't like that type of music, even though it is... Most people would say it's right down the alley of what I like. It's because it's metal. It's heavy metal.
Yeah, but it's kind of like hair metal-y.
It is hair metal-y, but they are phenomenal artists. Their musicianship is ridiculous if you don't listen to the lyrics. What are some of the lyrics in the song? How's it start?
Well, it starts with the whole solo.
Yeah, Well, there's like 5 minutes before there's any singing.
I can't even remember if I cut the beginning out or not. Like, I might have just skipped to the lyrics, which is maybe the worst. Which is maybe the worst
Don't listen to the lyrics, but if you want to hear some incredible guitar playing...
No,
Henry Lee is the guitarist. See, I even know the guitarist, well, one of the guitarists, Henry Lee's.
You know what my biggest regret was?
Is his name Henry Lee? Yeah. Go ahead.
It's something like that. You know what my biggest regret was? It's not using Operation Ground and Pound by Dragon Force instead. Now that one I really know the lyrics.
I don't know the other songs.
Smashing through the boundaries, storming through the burning fields. I could go on. Don't.
Yeah, well, with Dragon Force just picked like the words magic, ice, fire, steel, things like
storming,
that, and just put the castle, castle, fields,
wasteland.
All of those words, put them together, and boom, you
got a song.
Oh,
dragons is a big one.
Duh.
Yeah. So. That's my embarrassing first freestyle song that I'll never get away from, apparently. That was a one and done, baby. I chose a different song next time, let's just say. I think I didn't know how cringe that was going to be until after. And I really didn't feel the cringe set in probably till like 10 years later.
Hey, I like the song. I think it's freaking great. I seriously
I love the song. And, well, hold on. I actually thought about this decision too, just so you know. I was really mulling it over because I actually wanted to use a different song. Like I said, that was my regret. I wanted to use a different song, but I thought, well, people might know Through the Fire and the Flames because it's their most popular song. I thought
nobody knows that song.
I thought people might know it. That was my thinking.
It's like an 11-minute song or something. It's ridiculously long. It's never on the radio or anything like that.
That to be my justification for using that particular song by them over anything else.
You were like 13 years old or whatever. So.
I was 13, but come on. I had half a brain at 13, I would hope. Apparently not. But anyway, that was a one and doneer. You know what my second freestyle song was?
Ooh, what?
Because you have guessed this one before on
What is it?
Spark at the Moon, Ozzy Osbourne. Much more fitting, very cute, totally fitting. Totally fitting. So that was cute. I think that one actually stuck around for a while. I went through a lot of freestyle songs before I got to Awesome, though.
Yeah, that's interesting because that's the one I remember the most, I'd say.
I think that's the one that most people remember. That's kind of the earworm that gets stuck in people's heads. So, yeah, so that was kind of funny. Unfortunately, yours is not as embarrassing as mine.
No, I'm not embarrassed to say I did Queen and David
Bowie is respectable and great. I mean, not that Dragon Force isn't, but come on, it's a little
really
cringe
cool
to do a diss like that. So,
I would never do Dragon Force, even though I love that song, because I would never be able to say I did Dragon Force.
No, I don't want to be able to say it. That's the problem. I wish I could say I didn't use Dragon Force. But now that sits with me forever.
But we both agree that the song is killer.
Yeah, it's killer, but come on. It should have been a freestyle song. But anyway, so just think about that, folks. When you choose your freestyle song, that's going to travel with you. It's going to live with you, and it's going to come to haunt you. But at least I know that whatever I pick is probably going to be a better freestyle song than that. So it just really, it started out rock bottom, and I could only go up from there. So in that same vein, what's your favorite freestyle song you've ever used?
Of mine?
Yeah, of your freestyle songs.
Before I forget by Slipknot. Because number one reason is because it was with Endzone. He's my boy. And just I feel so close with him. And that song just clicked. It represents me and him and how we played. It's a Slipknot song. It's not one of their slow ones, not one of their nice ones. They did win a Grammy for it.
Do they have a nice song?
Some nice songs. They did win a Grammy for it, which is pretty awesome. Best hard rock heavy metal song.
That one happened today?
I think it's the only Grammy they won. If not, I could be wrong. It was their first for sure, first Grammy. But I love Slipknot. It's my favorite band now. I mean, my favorite band has moved around over the years, but I'd say the longest time frame is having them as my favorite band. It's Slipknot. Okay. And so that's what I chose. And what about you? What's your favorite song you did yourself?
So I would say it's really hard to pick like a favorite song, but my favorite song, if I have to pick, I think the camera's going to be shaking because these dogs are, you can't see it. They're out of cropping, but I'm just waiting for it. The moment's coming. They're going to knock it over.
It's okay.
So sorry, audio listeners. You're not watching the camera shaking, but I just have to tell you about it because we're watching the dogs being crazy. Okay, so my favorite song is One Last Thrill by Slash and Miles Kennedy. It's actually just one of my favorite songs. So I didn't use it very much. I used it with Torch for, I don't even know if I used it for a year. I think maybe I used it for
only a year. Really?
Yeah.
I only say that because, man, I love the song.
Yeah, so you tuned into it right away.
Maybe I just always think of that when you play with him. That's one of the ones I really associate.
Yeah, so
I love it.
I think of that as one of his 2 freestyle songs, even though I didn't use it super long. So a couple funny things about that song is that, Flair's actually, her full name is Rolled on Fire, which is the album from Slash and Miles Kennedy, who did that song, One Last Thrill. One Last Thrill's not off that album, but it was off, but their later album, World on Fire, which is also one of my favorite albums. That's what Flair's full name is.
Wow, so, that's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know if you knew that.
If you don't know any of the Slash solo stuff, you gotta get into it.
It's so good.
I mean, if you only know Guns N' Roses, but you like hard rock or heavy metal, man, you gotta get into Slash, especially the stuff with Miles Kennedy. Which most of the songs are. I think some of the early solo stuff was a real mix, but then
he had like
he
Fergie,
found his guy.
He had,
I forget everyone he's had. It's just a lot of different.
M Shadows.
Yep, was from Avenged Sevenfold.
He had,
they're gonna knock it over.
What's the guy's name from? Audio Slave. What's Audio Slave guy?
Chris Cornell. Yeah. Rest in peace.
I think he was one of the people that he had on there. He had quite a few. They were really, really good. And
So
then he
seriously,
kind of
check
did
them
a
out.
couple
I mean,
albums with Miles Kennedy.
Yeah,
And those
yeah.
are some of my favorites.
Yeah, I think those ones said like slash featuring Miles
Something
Kennedy
like
or
that.
something like that.
And Miles Kennedy has his own band, but
He
anyway,
has his own band, which isn't.
those are some of
good.
my favorite albums.
Mm.
And One Last Thrill is one of my favorite songs.
And it's, every song is good too.
And
That's
it was
the thing.
very Torch. Talks about being reckless and on fire, which Torch very
Upbeat.
much was. It's quick. It's really quick.
Shocker, great guitar in it.
I know. So here's
Slash,
the
you never
other
know.
funny thing. So I used that at UFO Finals 2013. Torch won. That was his first time winning UFO Finals. And I will never forget. It was like middle of the event because it was a multi-day event, so you could hear the freestyle, but you know, it's a weekend event. So Chuck comes up to me, I think in the middle of the weekend, and he walks up to me. He's like, Kirby, I gotta tell you, that is one of the most god-awful worst songs I've ever heard. And I just like smiled and I'm like, well, that's good, Chuck. I probably said something snarky back, like, I think your freestyle song is the worst I've ever heard, except he used Fat Bottom Girl, so I can't even say that.
Yeah, see, we're both great
I
Queen
love
fans,
Queen,
so
and
it's
I
like-
actually liked the song that he used
I
with
would-
Bling Bling too, the Sean Kingston song. That was actually
I
going to
don't
be
know
my
who that is.
freestyle song with Torch. It's called Fire Burning.
Hmm.
Somebody call 911. Shawty's fire burning on the dance
That
floor.
sounds, well, it says dance floor. I'm already out. That's a
So
pop
I
kinda
was
thing.
going to
I'm
use
not
that
into
with Torch, and then Chuck just stamped his name on it, and it was kind of their thing. So I was like, dang it, I couldn't use it with Torch, but I was going to use it because it's fire burning. But yeah, so I did One Last Thrill with Torch. I think that's my favorite freestyle song that I've ever used. Although I gotta give honorable mention to Awesome by Real Big Fish. Really, really fun song. I like ska. This is where our music
But then that's
interest
not true.
split a little bit.
It does split some
You
a
don't
little
like
bit.
ska as much.
No, but I like No Doubt a lot.
True.
And some of the old ska is really familiar with, like the Madhouse. Is it Madhouse? Back in the 80s. Or that's when ska kind of started, I guess. So I liked it a little bit then, but they didn't even call it ska. They didn't even know what it was.
I have a really cool fun fact about the band Real Big Fish and
Yeah?
Awesome. So I was actually lucky enough to meet Aaron Brett, the lead singer, and his now wife, Krista. They are so sweet, so awesome. And they actually adopted a dog from us, and they treat that little boy like gold. His
Wow.
little,
That's cool.
his name
I knew
is
this.
escaping me. But I just love it because it's like, oh my gosh, it's so full circle because this is like my freestyle song with
Right.
Sketch. And I love Real Big Fish. They're one of my favorite bands. And then I got to meet them and they're like big dog lovers and they adopted a dog from our rescue. And it was just like so cool. Oh my gosh. So I have an old picture somewhere of me in a parking lot when they're signing adoption papers and I brought Sketch and we took a picture, all of us together.
Okay.
So that was really cool. So they're so cool. I love them. But anyway, so that's kind of my fun fact about my freestyle music. Of course, you know, we feel strongly about it. Love our freestyle music, but yeah.
Yes. Well, we're both nutty about music.
Yeah, we're kind of music
Yeah.
lover.
I play bass. I don't play it anymore. I stopped. As soon as I start getting hand injuries and things like that from disc, I have to stop playing bass. And then I think I've decided I better just not do it because it messes with my elbow, my thumb. I play a little bit of slap bass, so that bothers me. I know I'm a metalhead, but I like to play funk on the bass a lot. So it's not at all good
Your
for
dogs
things
need you
bothering me.
more than-
Yes, and it's more important than playing the bass. It's just a
Yeah.
little hobby I had.
I never really was interested in playing music. I just am an enjoyer. I don't really know anything technical about music. Like, I know nothing. But I don't know. There's certain music I'm just drawn to. So, yeah, with that. So we're kind of saying what our favorite songs are. Next thing would be, what's your favorite song that I've used? And
So,
I'll answer my favorite of yours.
I'm doing three and there's probably more.
There's three.
Three, I got to pick three because I
Okay.
can't pick between them. And I'd probably say you've done like 20 or 30 songs that I've loved.
Really?
Of course, so many. It's every year, because
Really?
we always throw out a different one
So
here
you
or
mean
there
you
or
love
something like
Dua
that.
Lipa levitating?
I don't even know what you just said. So I am going to go with, in no particular order, actually I'm going to go in order that you did them.
Okay.
So earliest. 1 Million by 9 Inch Nails.
Oh, you remember that.
If you do 9 Inch Nails, you already got bonus points for me if I'm judging. Just a little hint out there for people.
That's a lie.
That was one of my favorite bands.
That's a good freestyle song.
It kind of fallen apart a little bit. Their music's not so good anymore, in my opinion. But 9 Inch Nails, I was like obsessed with 9 Inch Nails in high school and stuff.
Longer than that.
and then way past. Yes, way past. I mean, I just saw them not that long, 10 or so years ago or something. I saw them 3 times in 1 year. I mean, that's a little bit of an obsession. Not quite an obsession.
I'm surprised you remember I used that, because I didn't use it very long.
Well, there's a reason. Anyways, then the next song, that comes up later. The next song is Mrs. Hyde by Hailstorm.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I used that for a long time with Blitz. Oh,
That
by the way,
song
1
is so
Million was
good.
with Flash.
And
I don't know if listeners are worried about what dog it was with.
Mrs. Hyde, just with Blitz, especially the lyrics, the music, chick singer, two girls out in the field with the chick singer. I think that just goes. It sounds good. I love that. So not only do I love the song, I just love how it worked with you and your routine. I thought that was one of the best songs that just went with you and everything that you were doing out there. So that's...
Yeah, I don't think that song would have worked with any of my other dogs.
And then the next one I'm going to pick is, you did it once, and I'm actually having a hard time remembering exactly which event. It was something we just did.
Just one time?
Emptiness Machine.
Oh, I knew you were going to say that.
Emptiness Machine, Linkin Park, for a band that you don't like.
Man.
They have a new singer, rest in peace, Chester, but they have a new female singer named
You
Emily.
said Linkin Park, and now Link is in your
Oh
lap.
my god, that's no
If
random
you're
thing
not
there.
watching the video and you're only listening to the audio, he said
So-
Linkin Park, and now Link just crawled into Jeff's lap. It's so funny.
So I love Linkin Park, absolute one of my favorite bands ever. And so that song, I just, so catchy,
Yeah.
so cool.
I want to talk about that.
Emily's such a great
song.
vocalist. I love, she has this raspiness in her voice. And you did that with Sora. What event was this now?
It was the last Disc-Dog-thon we did.
Disc-Dog-thon. Okay, there you go.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I want to talk more about that song later. I've got a lot of comments about that song, but I'll save them for a little bit because I think we got to keep this rolling.
yeah, so what song?
Oh,
You can only pick
favorite
one.
song.
I was allowed to pick
Yeah,
three.
how rude. Talk about unfair.
I have a hard time picking favorite songs and bands.
So
I love so many.
I've liked a lot of songs that you've used, probably most of them. The one that just stands out for me, isn't it obvious?
Oh, yeah, I know what it is.
How to Be Human.
Yeah.
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 I kicked myself
Power
when
Man
I
5000.
heard you use that song, by Power Man 5000, How to Be Human. When you used that song, I was like, oh no, why didn't I think of that? Like, I think that was the album new? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think it was pretty new. It was probably only out like a year.
I hadn't, didn't even think of it. And I was like, dang it. He took that song, and I'm like, how am I ever going to get a freestyle song to torch?
So a lot of people probably don't know who Power Man 5000 is, but the singer is the brother of Rob Zombie. He goes by the name Spider. He's a very odd individual. If you look at him, he's always wearing these like big headphone things of different colors, or maybe glasses, and he always looks kind of odd. He's a very stylish kind of guy. He might have green hair one day, like crazy punk looking kind of stuff. It's kind of a mix between punk and 9 Inch Nails, maybe. There's some of the
he's got some
electronic stuff in it, a lot of guitar. A lot of the songs aren't complicated; they're simple, just in your face.
It's a little AC/DC in that way, where it's kind of simple.
Don't get it if you think you like AC/DC and you might like them. They are a lot different.
No, they're different, but I'm saying the kind of repetitive a little bit.
Simple.
Definitely
AC/DC. The AC/DC. The joke is that all of their albums sound alike.
Yeah,
which is true.
A little bit like that too.
Yes.
Except the slow songs, which you don't want to listen to.
Yeah,
those are rough. Songs. Don't listen to those.
I don't know. The popular ones are probably no good then, because usually the slow songs for metal and rock bands are popular ones, but those are not good.
What's the song? Supernova goes.
Yeah, I think it's just called Supernova.
Yeah, that's their most popular song.
And it's a great song. That's a good song.
Yeah, it is a good song.
I did that song in freestyle.
Yeah, you did. But How to Be Human is just like, I just love that song.
Yes.
Yeah, I just love that song. So I'm mad that I didn't use it myself, actually. But that's okay, because it totally fit you and Muse, and it was, I don't know, I think a lot of people didn't like it, but I don't really care, because I really liked it.
I had a lot of good feedback from people. I don't like that kind of music, but man, I really like it, and things like that. Yeah, and some people are like,
I
if
love
I went out
that
and did
song.
a different song, they'd say, "I can't believe you changed it because I always just associate you with that song."
You did change it, and I was like, why?
But I've also gone back
I
to it, so
know.
it's probably like I probably played that song at least half of her freestyle rounds.
Oh, more
I'd
than
say.
that. 75%.
Maybe.
I love that song. Anyway, so that's my favorite. So, do you have a favorite song that somebody else has used? What's your favorite song somebody else has used?
Yes. I believe. I hope I don't have the person wrong. Ethan with Boots did this is
Bootzilla, I think.
yes,
is the dog's name.
I think call him Boot usually, but
Oh, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
Bootzilla. Yeah. Bootsy,
with
maybe.
Avenged Sevenfold. What the heck is the song? It's like right on the tip of my tongue.
I don't remember this.
And
It's not Backcountry,
Backcountry.
Was
He
it
did
Backcountry?
Backcountry, yes.
I didn't even know that.
And you never heard it because I only competed against him like that one time maybe. It was in Las Vegas, and you didn't go to a lot of those events that I went to.
Yeah, I
And
don't
he
remember
came
that at
out.
all.
This is the first time I met him. So if you're out here, hey. we get along really well. We've talked a few times. He's a really cool guy, and he went out there and did Backcountry, and I'm like, okay, this is a cool guy. And Avenged Sevenfold, they're a heavy
I love
metal.
Avenged
they're
Sevenfold way more than you do.
They're
Even.
pretty. Yeah,
I even like their slow stuff, which is really
Man,
saying something.
that song. I do too. Actually, I
Do
like
you?
all their stuff. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hail,
I love
well, I
them.
think "Hail to the King" is a slow song. I don't know. Is that slow? I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of slow.
I like
I love it.
I like all their songs.
There's somebody
pretty much.
now that
They're
uses an Avenged Sevenfold song. I can't remember.
You know,
what
I think I
song it was.
remember hearing it too.
It's
The
kind of-
guy's voice
I
is
think-
very
I think
M
it's
Shadows.
Chris, I think it's Chris
Very-
Nodders. Chris Nodder.
Very
Yeah.
distinctive vocals.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Sometimes
Which
I don't
I like
the
that
way
song.
he sings. But,
Oh, I love
but,
his
but
voice.
The
I love his
music
weird
is
voice.
phenomenal, and I do like his singing. It's just sometimes he has like a real nasally thing.
Oh, he does some stuff. I'm like, I don't even know why I like this, but I do. I just whatever reason.
And Backcountry starts out just screaming at the beginning of it in your face, and I'm like, yes! And I already knew the song and everything, and I was just like, someone's doing this. They got some guts.
Linky, come here. Linky is really wanting to visit.
So that's fine. What about you? Do you have one that you heard someone else doing? And you're like, why didn't I think of that? Or they had guts doing that? Or I just love it.
No, there was a song, and I hadn't heard it before. I didn't know what it was because I was not a fan of the band. And it was Tracy Custer and Ninja, and she did a Light That Never Comes,
Ninja
and
just passed away.
I know
today.
Ninja just passed away. Rest in peace. I love that dog.
So
He's
sorry.
so cool, man. Oh my gosh.
Sorry to interrupt you, but
Yes,
that's the first
I know.
one.
I was getting teary eyed like when I read that. Don't bring it up or I'll start crying. So, yeah. So it was A Light That Never Comes by Linkin Park and Steve Aoki, and I don't really like, or I didn't at the time. I really didn't like Linkin Park. So I was like, I'm surprised I like this, but I really love that song. So I don't remember how long she used it. She used a couple different songs with Ninja, but that was one of them, and I love that song. And I really like a lot of the songs that Tracy chooses. Like pretty much if Tracy picks a freestyle song,
I gave her a recommendation that she took and rolled with.
What was it?
It was a Pink song. See, I listen to different stuff. I do like Pink. Oh man, it's a song that had Eminem in it, and her siren, her dog.
It was the lab siren.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
So in the song they go, "Here comes the siren."
Oh, okay.
And then Eminem. So
I don't know if I heard her use that song
Pink,
with that song.
yes, that she did that for about a year.
Oh,
I'd say
okay.
yes. So she was like, "What
I like
should I
that
use?
song.
What should I use?" And I said, "This is obvious." And I sent it to her, and she said, "Oh, it's perfect."
like
and so
that
she used
song.
it. Yep,
Yeah.
that was kind of cool. And then she's used Nine Inch Nails. She used,
Discipline. I love that song.
and she also used "Bite the Hand That Feeds," which
But
I use
like
also.
Discipline more.
I like Hand That Feeds more.
Oh, I love that song.
I like the
Discipline.
heavier songs. And
I really like that song,
ones that are a
Discipline.
little rougher.
So, any honorable mentions of songs that other people have used?
I actually have one, only one. I've heard so many good songs, but I think the song's called "Ain't Nothing Wrong with That." If I got the song name wrong,
I like that song.
apologize. And it was Mark Muir. Now here's
A few people have used it, but yes.
here's how it happened. I started using it, and then I posted a video, and someone actually messaged me and said, "What made you think of that song? Why are you using that song?" And I'm like, "I saw it on So You Think You Can Dance."
Oh, really?
So that was another thing that has influenced me. I watched that to get ideas for freestyle movements and things. And I saw it on there, so I started using it. Well, Mark was using it on the East Coast the same year because the song just came out. I didn't know it. He didn't know it. I'm just thinking, well, whatever. I'm going to keep using it. So I'm giving him credit just because we both picked the song like at the same exact time. And at the final, we played the same song. So whatever.
Yeah.
What about you?
Let me think. Just anything Tracy Custer's used, that's already on the list. And then, so two of them, they're both by Dorothy, of course, which I like that band. And you've used a song by Dorothy.
She is awesome.
So both of my honorable mentions are Dorothy.
Wow.
And one is,
nice.
I apologize if I'm saying her name wrong, Ania Radomska and West from Poland used the song Raise Hell.
Yeah.
I love that song. And then Dre Morissette with Moxie used, God, what was it called? It was a Dorothy song,
I have a real hard time with her song names, too, actually, for some reason. I can't ever remember the names of the songs.
I can think of the song. I can hear it in my head.
We'll just say Dorothy, then.
Yeah.
She is so talented. Her voice is
so, anyway, so those are my honorable mentions. Awesome. I love those songs. So, but I'm also a Dorothy fan, so I think, and those two songs particularly were really, really good for freestyle.
Yes, I've been thinking about using one this year. I've been kicking around a couple different ones. Oh, there's that Slash song, that's one with Slash that just came out.
Okay.
And
wait, really?
Yeah, I sent that to you.
Did you? Last week. I was probably busy, and I'm like, okay, I'll listen to it later. Yeah. And I probably sent 10 other messages.
It's called something Tombstone. I think it might just be called Tombstone. Tombstone Town. I think that's the name of it. You want to hear like a really catchy, cool song? Check that out.
I will check that out. So that kind of leads us into, how do you pick your freestyle music?
Well, my situation and opinion is very simple. I started out a little bit trying to pick something I at least liked, and then try to think, well, the judges like this maybe, and
do you think about that now?
Well, after about the first year, absolutely not. I pick what I like, and I'm going out there to perform and do my thing. And this is no offense to any judges. I judge, okay? You judge. I don't care if you don't like my music. Not everyone's going to like every kind of music. So, for example, a lot of people say, oh, I'll use pop. That's going to be safe. I hate pop. So if you go out there and use pop, I don't like it. So you're going to have, or if you use country music, I don't like it. If you use some kind of instrumental, I played instruments and I like instrumental kind of stuff. I don't want to hear that. I want to hear vocals in the music. I want to hear some words. I want to hear a message maybe that goes with your routine. For me, I want something heavy, crunching, and I want a little bit of screaming in it. What about you? that's it. That's my rules. Yes, and I don't care.
It has to have those things. No, it doesn't.
Oh, virtually all of them do.
Do they?
Yes, even songs you don't really think about, you'll hear like a little bit of a scream in it or something like that.
I may not think about it. I'm probably it doesn't affect me, like I don't, because that's just the type of music that I listen to. So if I hear screaming, it doesn't really
right.
I don't think of it.
And I latch onto that part of it because I love when someone can scream really well and sing. So yeah,
well, I guess what I mean is I don't think of it as screaming, I do. I guess it doesn't like raise a red flag to me or anything like that. Because I'm like, I just like this. It rocks.
If you use Hailstorm, like we both use and stuff, it's every single song has screaming in it.
I know it does.
So they're all going to be good.
But
I will think about it. Or Slipknot.
From the audience
or Nine Inch Nails, almost all of those. Yeah, so that's all I do.
I'm
not that complicated. I want heavy and with some screaming, and some people will be like maybe a little uneasy about
it. You want to offend somebody in the audience, basically. That's how you pick it. I'm just kidding. I have I have a weird way of picking freestyle. I think part of it, like I kind of think of all things. So I think of the audience, I think of the judges, but I can't use something that I just don't like, because I think there's a lot of songs out there that I could just pick based on the audience and the judges. But I feel like I've got to really connect with the song and like it, because especially at least the first 15 seconds, because after that I usually don't hear it.
Oh, see, I'm opposite world.
You hear it?
Yeah, you'll see me out there mouthing like the lyrics and stuff, and I'm headbanging a little bit and stuff. I get into it. I get into the music because I'm I'm just so into music. I get into the song.
Yeah, a lot of times I don't hear it if I'm focusing. really well. Like if I'm doing a good job, I usually don't hear it. If I'm not doing so good out there, I'll probably hear it. It should be a song that will make me feel better when I hear it. No. So part of the way that I pick my music is beyond the audience and the judges and me, I also consider, so if my dog were a person, what type of music would suit them or what kind of music would they like?
Of course, I do some of that too.
That's kind of a good starting point for me to pick music. But I do also think of the judges in the audience. I don't want to do something that's going to be too far in one direction to make them go, oh, I hate that song. But I say that until I don't, right? So like, it depends on the dog. So like Blitz and Volt and dogs that I was maybe less competitive with, I didn't really care. I was kind of like, I'm just going to use what I want. So I use a lot of cool songs with Blitz and Volt too. Like Volt had kind of an electronic song almost.
Yeah, I'll test them out on some of the younger dogs and things like that. But then the problem is, well, now it's their song. It's like no matter what, I don't want to use one with one dog and then use it again with another dog. I've done that occasionally.
Yeah, I don't do that really either. I don't like to repeat the same song with a different dog because I think unless it was just kind of a one-off, like I was testing it out and it didn't work kind of thing. But,
it didn't work with this dog very well. Maybe I should try it with this one.
Right, because you still like the song, but it maybe just didn't fit that dog. But I really think about like what would they like if they were a person and what makes sense, right? Like I just don't think that so like Flair, for example, I don't think like a heavy metal song would fit Flair. She looks like a Pokemon. Like she looks like a stuffed animal. So I feel like she looks like a Disney character or a stuffed animal or Pokemon. Her song should be cute. Like it either needs to be girly pop, super cute, high energy, like young Disney star type music, teeny bopper music, or ska, or, something very cutesy, like even K-pop, like something girly, So that's very Flair. I mean, so I kind of think about those sort of things. That would never fit a dog like Torch.
So think about this, though. So I had a dog named Toonie. And her name was Toonie because she kind of looked like a cartoon character. She did. Just super cute and fluffy. I tried to find the heaviest, fastest song that I thought I could use. And I chose Jesus Built My Hot Rod by Ministry. And if you know the song or don't know the song and want to check it out, it's as brutal as a song can get. And I did that because I thought it was hilarious. And I did that most of her career. I did that song. I did some other ones, but I did Run Around Girl. Dresden Dolls. Did I do Coin Operated Boy?
It was a different song.
Okay. Oh yeah, Girl Anachronism.
Yeah,
and that's their heaviest, fastest song too. But she was a pretty fast dog, so I didn't want like a song with a good beat. Honestly, it didn't work for her. She wasn't she didn't jump, so she was real fast. She just did this all over the field. So for me, the song had to go.
Yeah, just when her feet like hit the ground, it was like boom, 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 boom. Yeah. Like it wasn't like she had a big long stride. Right, it wasn't. There
wasn't like a ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum,
like Link, when Link like runs and the earth shakes.
Or like with Flash, a great song that could work is one that has like these stops with like a big drop.
Well, so
that kind of stuff. Like Flash, those could go with a dog who has this big jumps and stops and things like that.
Yeah, with Flash, I used Queen because to me, Flash is kind of like a classic rock kind of guy. He's kind of a good old boy. I could have went country route, but I don't really like country. And there wasn't really a country song that I felt really fit Flash that was good for freestyle that I also liked. So Queen, we used One Vision most of the time. We also used Thunderstruck, AC/DC.
Hey, you also used the Flash Gordon song. Is it just, really?
No, I didn't. No, what I did was I edited the beginning. Okay. And it would do Flash. And that was Queen too.
Yes, and that's why.
So I thought, that's
IDC,
fitting.
I remember you doing it for some reason.
Yeah, because I thought it was fitting. So yeah, that was like the intro.
I remembered something. I'm just proud about that.
That was the Flash Gordon song. Yeah. So yeah, that was just the beginning, and then we would go into One Vision usually. So and I thought that was like perfect. And then the other thing is like the end of the song says fried chicken, and I think Flash would like fried chicken. So
you think?
Yeah. So it was also fitting. Oh, and one of the lyrics happened to be one flash of lightning.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it's totally perfect. That's so his song. So, and he's kind of named after, he's not really named after Flash Gordon, because I've still never seen Flash Gordon, but I was trying to pick something related to music or related to Queen in some way, and I wasn't going to name him Queen, and there wasn't really a lot of names to pick from. So I kind of picked Flash from the sort of from Flash Gordon, but I've never even seen the movie.
So you might notice a trend, other than we have a lot of overlapping music, but Queen for both of us is, I mean, if someone tells me that Queen is their favorite band, I'm like, I'm right there with you. I get it. I mean, they're not my favorite. He's certainly one of my favorite singers, though. Whew, Freddie Mercury, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, what a singer. So,
I think I pick more on audience than you do a little bit.
Yeah.
I definitely really consider it with dogs that I'm more competitive with. Like, I really, really overthink it for dogs like Sora.
I try to pick things. One of the other things I do is pick something that just probably nobody out there knows, but except for maybe you. Something that's not going to be on the radio and things like that. Not always. Come on. I mean, obviously I'm doing Queen and things like that. And Ozzy.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I try to just pick something that just nobody knows, because I just want that uniqueness.
Yeah, I definitely try to pick something that is a little bit enough out there that people aren't going to pick, but maybe they know or nobody's thought to use. You know what was crazy is, so I used Levitating this last year with Sora, and that's a really popular song, and I'm shocked nobody took it. And you know what's funny is, like, I asked my mom initially when I was considering using that song, and she's like, that's way too slow. It's too slow. It's not a freestyle song. And that's what I thought too. I really thought it was going to be too slow. And then it is slow, but I played it over Sora's freestyle, and it kind of enhances what we do, and it sort of slows me down in a way. And it's a popular song, so it kind of fits the routine. You know,
I did, especially early on. I think now I kind of just know that a song is going to work for me and the dog. But earlier on, we used to just be like song cyclers. I mean, a lot of times we were just constantly switching. Like,
we were trying to figure out something.
And we're trying to understand ourselves, like what made sense. And I was so excited about using Firestarter by Prodigy.
Oh, I like that song.
I was so excited doing that with Enzo. And I went out there, and it was the first competition of the year. I remember this so vividly. And it was a disaster. And I came off the field, and Jen says, you can't use that song. I'm like, what do you mean? She said, that just pushed you. It pushed me to go too fast. It's a fast song. And it's a song where you can't just go out there and dilly-dally, because it is in your face. A lot of people know it. It is pretty popular, but it is also in your face, fast, a lot of anger and aggression in it. And I started listening to it and like watching the routine that I did. I'm like, you know what? You're right. It didn't work. So I scaled way back, and I started doing some real softer songs for a while until I got my rhythm and figured out how to play.
Yeah. Yeah, it has to be, if you're going to do like a harder song or a song that maybe a lot of people wouldn't normally like, it might have to be the right song. Like, you sort of have to pick something that is a good freestyle song within that genre of the things that you like.
And especially if you need a little help, like I did at the time, to guide me to do the routine right. Like, I could just now hear a song and be like, yep, that's going to work great with this dog. Maybe I'll use it. And I just keep them in my mind because I already know they're going to be good. And then maybe I'll try it, and I'll be like, you know what, I didn't dig it for whatever reason.
I always watch it over my freestyle. I always edit it.
I usually play.
And watch it.
I like to feel it more. So I'll do it live outside. I take a little Bluetooth speaker, a Bose that I have, and I put it outside and crank it all the way up to try to make it as loud as possible, and just try to see if it feels right. If it feels right, I don't need to review it or watch it or anything. I'm good with it. That's how I like it.
So you kind of...
I feel the music, though, when I play a lot.
You think about more how it feels to you,
to me,
playing music.
Yeah, and anyone else, if you don't like it, it's not really my problem.
I view it more from I think about it as how is the audience and how is the viewer going to watch this with my song? Because I won't even like entertain a song if I don't feel it right off the bat. But I think for me, feeling it is just liking the song.
Well, that's the thing. I'm saying feeling it with the dog. I have so many songs that I love, and I've said it so many times. I'd love to do this. I'd love to do that. Like Kid Rock. I love Kid Rock. I can't help it. I know a lot of people don't like him now with all his crazy things he says. But I cannot find a song that I can make work for freestyle, and I don't think I've ever done one from him. And he's really one of my favorite artists ever. I really like his stuff. Everything from the rap to the metal to even kind of the country stuff he does. I like all of it. I can't pick a song. Same thing with Eminem. There's too many. The language is atrocious. And same thing with Kid Rock.
Oh my gosh, trying to edit an Eminem song to...
I have 4 or 5 songs in the process of being edited over years, and I just sit there and I go back and review them, and I'm like...
Yeah, I've done that too. I try to edit to make it like family friendly.
Yeah, and they're not going to be no matter what you do. And then if you do, it doesn't even sound like a song anymore.
Yeah, exactly. It's so chopped up. So yeah, that's kind of, I don't know. I do think of the audience, but less so if I'm not as competitive. Like, maybe if it's their first freestyle, I don't really care so much. But I definitely think really overanalyze it with Sora and like Torch and Flair. Like right now, my dilemma is actually over the Emptiness Machine and thinking about changing it from Dua Lipa, Levitating, the popular song, the earworm, the song everybody likes. I got so much good feedback on that song, and I'm thinking about changing it to Emptiness Machine because I love that song.
Oh, that's so good.
I didn't like Linkin Park, and then I heard that song, which was released on Sketch's birthday, by the way.
Oh.
And 20 years after he was born. And it was just, oh yeah, nice shirt you're wearing.
Speaking of which.
That would be sketch on the quad shirt that Jeff's wearing. But yeah, so I don't know. I just really
used
love
a
that song.
One time, and you came running over to me. It was over in Torrance when we used to be able to play there. That was really fun there. And you came over to me after my round, and you said, "What song is that? It's so good. What was it?" And it was a Linkin Park song. And I said, "I knew you were going to like it." And it was a Linkin Park song. It's probably their heaviest one that they got, and it's "Keys to the Kingdom."
Oh, I did like that song.
And you had no clue because it was
good.
it's very harsh, even for like Linkin Park. They got some heavy songs, but man, Keys to the Kingdom, that song's rough, and you liked it, but it's still kind of catchy. It's fast and just cool song.
So let's kind of like dial this back to. I mean, obviously we know why we picked our songs, and we have some different considerations for why we pick certain songs. Let's talk about kind of the judging and the result, the effect of the song, and kind of, how your taste in music affects your song choice and how that affects your results. Because do you think that music choice is really that big of a deal when it comes to judging?
Yes, I absolutely do. I mean,
in what way?
I even have a story.
Okay.
I was even told by a judge. A judge came up to me after the event, and I think they were saying, anyone wants any feedback? So I went up to each judge, said, I'd like to have your feedback. And the one judge said, I only got one comment. And he said, and he pulled out my sheet, and he said, take a look. And it said music, and just scratched out like they were angry about it. And at first I was thinking, well, then you should like it because, the song was probably angry. I can't remember what song it was at the time, but a lot of my songs sound kind of angry. And this person said, I was into punk when I was younger, and I like that kind of music, but I just don't think it's right for freestyle. And I'm like, well, remember, it is freestyle. It's whatever we like to do. And I said, I'm not going to change it. I said, if you already like punk, I don't know why you're even telling me this right now. So that I just kind of blew that comment off. But I do believe that it can affect scoring. I mean, if you come out there and do country music, I'm scoring you down.
Are you?
Oh yeah, or pop music. Yeah, I'll score it down. I don't like it. I'm just being honest. And I'm not thinking, oh, this is pop music. I'm thinking, oh, jeez.
This is painful.
It's just not working for me. And I'm not consciously thinking about it, but I know.
You're not consciously scoring them down.
No, I'm not saying, I hate this song, so I'm going to score it low. I just know that it's going to put me in a mood that I don't like. And I know that my music does that to judges. They obviously told me that. But I'm doing it for me, so. And my dog.
I actually think it doesn't affect judging as much as people think it does.
Like, I don't think it's a lot, but I think it does.
So much the genre. I don't know that any judges actually score people down on purpose for this. I mean, I don't. I do know what you're saying, like in the back of your head, kind of that subconscious.
Well. Here's the thing. I asked this judge, who's a famous judge, judges world finals every single year, And if they don't judge me why is that my feedback? Feedback is to help you improve.
Well, okay,
right?
But
famous judge.
But maybe they're thinking that will help you. But I don't know if that affected the score. Did you ask if it affected the score?
No, I knew whenever this judge told me that's what it meant. It was obvious.
Okay. I don't know.
And then that's all I talk about. Like, why are you telling me about this? I was a little irked by it.
But but I see that, and then I've watched a lot of terrible, terrible, terrible songs, and they're like people aren't scored down for them, and maybe I just think they're terrible, and that's just my opinion.
So
I don't know. What do you
think about an organization, and at least one does this? I don't know if it's still in the rules, but it would actually says in the rules that if you don't have your own music, we will play bad country music for you. Now, there's a lot of people who love country music. I can respect that. There's actually a lot of crossover between country music and rock and metal. There really is. I mean, they play the same scales and things like that. It's the same type. There's a lot of depressing kind of stuff and things along those lines. But it's actually in the rules where it mentions country music. And I've heard at competitions they announce, if you don't have a song, we're going to play bad country music for you. So that must mean a lot of people don't like country music, but there's something to it. There's something to it.
Yeah,
Why would you bring that out? Why would you bring it up? There are people who love certain styles of music, and then if you say you're going to throw that on, you're implying that it's going to be something bad. It's bad to put on country music.
Well, I think they're saying not necessarily that country music's bad. Maybe they're talking about bad within the genre of country.
Well, that's what they're saying, but why not bad pop music? Why not just say a bad song or we'll put Who Let the Dogs Out?
Because bad country music's really bad.
See, that's...
But I mean, the hard part about... I do think in some ways, freestyle music in some ways shouldn't affect the scoring, because how can you know what a judge will like, right?
Yes.
I do think there's some qualities that just make a good freestyle song or not. Obviously, you're not going to go out there and use a really slow song for freestyle.
People do.
I know, but I'm saying that's just a bad quality of freestyle song.
But that's your opinion.
No matter the genre. I know. See, all of it can go back to being an opinion. So.
It is, and I have my opinion, and I really don't like certain types of music, and I know that when I'm watching it, it's going to make me feel not as happy about scoring. I just know.
I do. When I'm judging, I try to not listen to that bias, but I think more times than not, when I'm judging, I don't like the songs that people are using. More times than not. I just don't like it.
Me too, because it's mostly pop, and I am not a pop fan. However, I like certain pop music. I mean,
I like pop music, but a lot of the songs I just don't like. And I think it's worse now because a lot of the newer, trendier music, I really don't like it. I actually used to like a lot of the top Billboard hits when I was younger.
I mean, if I go way back and hear some like the old Michael Jackson stuff, there are some really good songs that got rock incorporated, got real instruments, guitars and drums, and not just boom, boom, and that's the whole song. That to me is just like, I don't know, that it's just not my preference.
Yeah, music's changed a lot, I think.
It really has. Guitars and drums and bass all went away. When I say bass, I'm talking not the drops, not the boom.
Oh yeah, like electronic music.
Yeah, that's
I don't even think of that. That doesn't even.
And that stuff is so popular now. It's not for me. It's probably just because I'm old. But I like rock. I also like rap. I do like rap, but I don't like much of the rap that's out now.
I do feel like a lot of things, in my opinion, that make a good freestyle song, you don't find a lot of those things within genres like country, within rap, within blues, for example. That would be a very obvious example.
A lot of those don't have the change of pace. They don't have like something loud and something soft and things like that.
Yeah, I feel like pop and rock tend to have more of that, and even some alternative. And I think if you're kind of outside of those genres too far, you're not going to have any.
I totally agree with that.
Piece that is good for a freestyle song. So I've heard songs that I don't like at all, but that The Weeknd or whatever. So there's a song by him, I think it's called Blinded Blinded by the Light or something.
I'm sure I don't like it.
I don't like the song. I think it's a great freestyle song, but I don't like the song.
Yeah.
So I can understand people using that sort of type of music, and I can see why it was picked. And I don't think that should be a knock on the score because I don't like the song, even though it is. I think it's inherently a good freestyle song, whether or not I like it. I think it's got qualities that make it a good freestyle song. I don't know, but then I also see sometimes people use songs that are just so out there that it's so bad that I'm like, I don't know, it's so bad that it almost has to affect the score because there's not one piece of it. It's like a lullaby music. It's like using Coldplay. Like if you use Coldplay, I don't know. I really have trouble.
And they're considered rock. Well, can you even believe that?
No. They're not even alternative. I don't even know what the genre is.
It's probably.
I don't even know what
music. I don't know.
I'm sorry if you like Coldplay, but I just can't stand them. To me, it's all and controversial. Like, here's the hot take: I hate the Beatles. So if you use the Beatles, I think it would be so bad.
Oh my!
That's another one.
Or
I couldn't. I would be like, this is so rough. I'd almost be distracted by it. So I think maybe that's what it is. Like I'm almost distracted by.
Because people are gonna hate me now for this because I'm a rock guy and I can't think of the band. The because I don't listen to them. The one that's like the Beatles, that was at the same time, just barely after the Beatles started, and they did Paint It Black.
Oh, Rolling Stones.
So they're another one. I do not like them.
I don't like most of their songs. I like a couple songs.
If you do Paint It Black, bonus points for me.
Yeah, I like that song.
What a phenomenal song. One of the greatest songs
ever. But that song also has some things that kind of make it an inherently good freestyle song. It's kind of upbeat. It's got...
Beatles, you could do Helter Skelter, which I did, but I didn't do their version of it. I did
Corey Taylor's version.
No, I don't remember who I did. You did Pat Benatar's version, right?
No. Oh,
or did I do
that song. I did Pat Benatar's song, but not that.
Okay. I did the song I think a couple times because there's a lot of versions of it. I can't even remember.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, I think I don't know. Rolling Stones has a couple of good freestyle songs. Overall, I wouldn't say I particularly like them.
Basically, if you get too old, it's just not going to be good.
I think there's
virtually nothing before 1970 is usable. Mostly because the audio quality is terrible. Even if the song is good, that's part of it. The audio quality, it's just, I can't stand, they all sound muffled. A lot of the things came out in monotone, which people now don't even know what that means. It's not stereo.
It's unfortunate.
It just sounds awful. Even a lot of the old Queen songs, I wanted to use Stone Cold Crazy for Bon Bon. I used it, but I used the Metallica version because it just sounds so much better because it's newer.
The sound quality.
Yes, and the Queen version just sounds bad.
What do you think about like the generations of so here's another consideration about freestyle music. So your judging panel could be certain ages, right? People watching you could be certain ages.
Oh, yes.
And do you think that a judge being from a certain generation may make a difference in what their preference in competitor music is?
Absolutely. Judges my age like music that I can't even stomach. I mean, I'm not picking on older judges. I'm putting myself right in there, except I don't like that stuff. I like something upbeat, fast, in your face, boom, boom, boom. If you're going to do something pop, man, make it have some edge to it or something like that. Pink. I know we keep saying her, but heck, she's good. Christina Aguilera, she's got some really good stuff with edge. It's stuff like that. So Michael Jackson can be good.
Michael Jackson's good. He's got quite a few songs that could be good.
Most of the older judges,
There's
quite
some
honestly,
Prince that's good.
Don't like that kind of stuff generally. You know, they prefer something older. They just want something old.
Yeah, I think it's
like
interesting.
And I'm old, so I'm not calling anyone else out. I'm calling myself out, except I like music that's got something to it.
Sometimes you don't know who the judges are going to be, so it's not like you're going to think, oh, this judge is from that generation and hope they like the song. I mean, I don't ever think of anything like that. But I do think it's interesting because depending on a judge, they may or may not like the music, based on their generation. Somebody that's my age might like something totally different. Maybe they're not going to really like, Elvis or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you play Elvis, I'd fall asleep.
I have a song in mind for Link that might be Elvis.
There's a great Elvis song I actually suggested to somebody
There's a couple.
Yeah.
Not very many, but there's a couple.
Yeah.
I think Adrian Stoka used an Elvis song, and it actually worked well. And it worked well for them.
Well, the song, it was Ellie. She asked me, she was doing a show and it was like a 50s theme.
Oh.
It took me a while for this to come back. That's why I'm sitting there going like this. And it was A Little Less Conversation, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like I think it was probably a remix. I don't think the original one was quite like that, but it was pretty fast paced originally.
Yeah,
but it was with him singing. It wasn't like someone else redid it or whatever. But it's like it was on Dance Dance Revolution, and that was why I heard that version of it. So
that could be a good song, mixed correctly. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't think I said I don't know that music affects scoring as much as people think it does. Like, I do think that certain songs can make they kind of make an appearance, or they change how your routine may be viewed. And like the tempo, the rhythm of the song maybe may make your dog look slower or faster, depending on how fast they run. So I think that's something to consider. And for me, the only way I know that is to just edit the song over a video of my routine and watch it, just to get an idea of if the song is going to work for me and my dog or not. And then after that, if I've kind of determined it looks good or it looks better, because some songs could make a dog look slower than they actually are, or just be kind of less you know, or you'd be like not as good. Once you kind of are at that point, I think if you're really good and you go out and nail your routine, the music really isn't going to make a big difference. Hold on.
It's true.
Hold on. I know you're itching to say something, but I think where it matters more is if you have an okay routine. That's where it's really gonna like change the view and the feel of the routine, is if you have 3 or 4 misses, or maybe even 2, like it's not like a done deal that was a crazy good round. I think it really affects that type of round more than it does somebody who goes out there and nails it. If somebody goes out there and nails it, and no matter what their song is, like they're kind of, they got it, or they're up there. But if you have a couple of misses, that's where I think your music can be an unconscious thing to the judges and sort of help or hurt you. And if your music brings a type of energy that is a good energy or upbeat energy, or maybe it gets you amped up and kind of you show more energy out there as the handler, that can help your scoring go up. But I think if you do a great job, it's not really going to matter either way. Or if you have a really, really rough round, it doesn't matter how good your song is. But I think if you're kind of teeter-tottering between a really killer round and a not, an okay round, that's where maybe music can give a little bit of perspective. But I'm talking 1/10 of a point. I'm not thinking half a point is being made up by music. And it's unconscious too. It's in the back of judges' heads. I don't think this is something that people are actively scoring up or down, but it just kind of helps the impression of the routine. Does that make sense?
I think at the World Finals, I've never judged World Finals for any organization. I've got to think I will at some point in time. But if I was judging at World Finals, I don't even know if I'm going to hear the music. I would want to give the competitors so much respect that I am just looking right at what they're doing. And I would probably tune it all out. Whereas when I'm at like a more local kind of competition, it's more relaxed, just hanging out, having fun. A lot of times it's not even for qualification spots or anything like that. Just relax and watch it, and then I'm getting more into the music. But I think at the finals, I would hope that the judges don't even hear the music. Because if you're paying attention to the music, you're paying attention to the wrong thing, probably. I'm not saying I don't have any knowledge of any of this. I've never really talked to judges about this, about the finals versus anything else.
Yeah, I haven't either.
But I would want you, if you're a judge and you're judging World Finals, don't even hear the music. Look at the competitor. That's what I would ask.
I think another consideration, too, is if it's a World Finals and you have people from out of the country, and maybe the top songs in the U.S. are not the top songs in another country. So, like, if somebody comes from another country and they're using music from them, and maybe their hits are different, right? Like maybe the popular music in Japan or Germany or wherever or Mexico is totally different than what is popular in the US, where most of the finals take place, or wherever the finals are, right? Like
Right.
I went to Germany last year. I don't know. I mean, I know Dua Lipa's popular, but I don't know. It doesn't necessarily mean that a song that is really well liked in one area of the world is well liked in another place, which is another reason I think it's kind of hard to make any kind of scoring decision based off the music, because how unfair would that be if somebody comes from China and uses Chinese music and, you know, the judge doesn't understand a word of the song or doesn't like the song because it's just something they've never heard and it's so different from their culture and what they're used to, you know? To me, that's not fair. I mean, I've heard a couple songs from people out of the country and I was like, what an odd song. But, you know, maybe in their country it's really popular or something.
Well, I've heard songs that sometimes the international teams use that I think that they're using it because it's an American song, but when I hear it, I'm like, okay, come on, why would you pick this one?
Oh, I wonder. I don't know. Maybe they do.
I wonder. I'm like, there's no way they listen to the song there because it's really not a very good song or whatever. And I know music pretty well, and I would just think there's no way this version of this song got popular where they are. I think they just picked something they're hoping would work here. I'll be honest. This is a good one.
What?
I changed a song one time for the World Finals that had some Japanese in it for a Japanese judge that I knew was going to be on the panel.
You did? When was this?
I did Mr. Roboto by Styx, and at the beginning there's Japanese.
I know that. But you also use a song with Bon Bon now.
Yes, but that was just because I like the song. So I got two songs that have Japanese in them. But yeah, I was debating it, and I actually chose to use Mr. Roboto.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't
for a Japanese judge?
Yeah, I forget his name. I'm sorry. Yamaguchi, I believe, maybe.
Which organization?
For Skyhounds.
Oh, Yukihiro Sakaguchi?
Thank you. Yeah. I'm sorry. I know him. I've talked to him. He's a really nice guy.
Jeff's not so good with the Japanese names.
I'm not good with like remembering names of anyone actually. Yeah, but he was a really nice guy, and he gave me some. Not me directly, but he gave some feedback to the group one time. He judged a local competition for us. He weren't there, but he judged one of our competitions and gave some good feedback to the club, just some things that they were looking for. So a really good guy, and I heard he was going to be on the judging panel. I believe it had to be him. And
I didn't know that.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to switch the song.
Do you think he knew?
Yes.
Oh, really?
I don't know why else would I have a song with Japanese. So I went and actually looked up what the heck it meant, because I had no clue what it meant.
It's kind of weak Japanese. It's just Domo Arigato, Mr. Roboto, right? There's nothing else Japanese in it, right?
No, that's why I said it's the very beginning.
It's just that.
Yeah, but it still is Japanese, and it's like you can't hear anything else but that at the beginning, you know, so that's all you hear. But I did do that. It's true.
I'm trying to think.
And I did it sort of just because I thought it'd be kind of fun. I'm like, oh, they might like this, so I picked it because I was considering using the song at some point in time anyways, and I'm like, this is the perfect time to do it. It didn't help me.
I don't know. I don't know if I've used song with different language in it. I don't know. Maybe.
And you're the one who loves so much Japanese stuff. I got two songs in Japanese. I'm doing Ratatata by Electro Callboy and Baby Metal.
I Baby Metal's Japanese. Yeah, I like that song a lot. But I also am a Baby Metal fan, so makes sense.
Yeah, Baby Metal's cool as heck. I mean, I couldn't.
I think maybe the closest.
They got Chocolate. They got I forget Headbang or whatever. I think it's just called Bang or Headbang or Headbanger. That's one of their popular songs.
Flare, I use. It's sort of K-pop because it's Rosé from Blackpink. Apartment.
And I like to drink rosé, so.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite, but
I like that song. I don't know. Might switch to that with Flare. It's pretty popular. I don't know how popular it is in the US, but I think worldwide it's pretty popular. But the girls from Blackpink, and they're huge. They're huge. I don't even think you know who they are, but they're huge.
Huh.
Yeah, that might be the closest.
I did a song with gibberish. Jesus Built My Hot Rod. It's almost all gibberish.
I didn't know that.
Yes, there is it's Gibby Hayes or Haynes from the Butthole Surfers sang on it, but it's a ministry song, And he went into the studio and he was completely smashed drunk and he was just rambling on and on. So they put the microphone in front of him and he's just rambling, and they took it and put it into a song. And there's almost no actual lyrics in the song.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it goes ding a ding dang my dang along ling long. I don't know what that could possibly mean, but that's the kind of what it sounds like.
I've been really close to using some Japanese music with Sora. Really close to using some Japanese music, some anime intros, some of that kind of stuff. Believe me, when I was in Japan, I was really happy about the music choices that a lot of them made. I was like, this is my kind of deal right here.
Well, one thing I know is they like metal a lot, but I don't think that's most of their music. It's mostly the J-pop or whatever.
It was upbeat, like a lot of it.
Yeah,
It was actually funny because I recognized several anime opening songs when I was there.
They sound extremely poppy to me, but hyper. They're like hyper poppy kind of stuff with some electronic.
Maybe I will pull out an anime song with Sora at some point. We will see. I'm sure
that's what
it
it sounds like to me.
So are you kind of keeping your freestyle music the same for now, or are you thinking about switching it?
Oh, I don't have a song for Cheeky, so I gotta pick one.
Sure.
I was thinking about a Dorothy song.
Okay.
And someone moved around in there. And are you gonna change anything or doing it? Oh, we just mentioned a little bit.
Sora and Flair. I don't know. I'm teetering between Apartment with the girl from Blackpink and Bruno Mars, and versus her Just Can't Wait to Be King song, which is iconic. It's the ska cover from Suburban Legends of the Lion King song, which that's really hard to beat. Which, by the way, that song was supposed to be for Spirit. But he retired before I found it, or he was mostly retired when I found it. I was like, dang it. I almost didn't use it with Flair. But then I did, and it was like, oh, this is just too good. So, and it very much fit Flair, even if she's more of a queen than a king. I'm like, I can't let that stop me from using this song for her. So it was kind of perfect. Sora, I'm teetering between Dua Lipa and The Emptiness Machine by Linkin Park. We will see. I might just flip-flop back and forth with both of them for the girls. And Link, I think, needs something totally different from both of them. I don't know where I'm going yet. I'm looking at, I did have it in my head, like maybe Beastie Boys, something.
Oh man, so many good songs.
Okay, I was considering, there's an Elvis song I have in mind, potentially. There's also, I don't know if I'm saying it right. I'm going to look like a lame-o when I say it wrong, but Baby No Money. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. There's a couple songs that I think would be really good, but God, I got to edit out like half the lyrics. It's kind of like Eminem. But I think I could do it on some of them. There's a couple that I'm like, ooh, I might be able to get away with editing some of this out. But we'll see. There's a couple songs that would be really, really cool for Link. But I'm trying to go a different route with Link because I think his personality is kind of different from everybody else.
Yeah, I settled with Punky. I settled on Love Roller Coaster as like the long-term song.
That's not settling. That was a great song choice.
No, I mean when I say settled, like I don't feel like I need to look for anything else. Like I'm like this feels about right. So it's like going to be his long-term song. It'll be the one he's kind of known for.
It's Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Can't go wrong.
It's a cover though of a I don't remember. It was a one-hit wonder. I'm sorry.
It was on Beavis and Butthead.
Somewhere in the 60s or 70s. And it was the Beavis and Butthead soundtrack, which is where I remember it from. And I think it's just hilarious because it's so goofy and silly, and that's how he is. And Bon Bon, I think I'm sticking with Ratatata right now. They actually say Ratatatata in the song, but the song's called Ratatata. But I think I'm sticking with that because I like the Japanese K-pop. It's like J-pop, whatever it is, incorporated into. I just think it sounds fun because she's like little baby doggy, doggy, so it just,
I think it fits.
And it's three girls singing that part. It sounds kind of cute. It just goes well with her. And then there's the heavy parts I like with the screaming, so it's got like everything I love. And then with Cheeky, I'm thinking of a Dorothy song maybe. I don't know though. I'll see. I gotta pick something. I'm not sure. She's not doing freestyle, just baby stuff.
Right. Yeah. We'll see if Link does freestyle this year. I think maybe. Okay, so final question. Let's real quick. Let's say who's picked the pair songs.
Oh, who's picked them?
Yeah. I mean, I'm just really thinking "So What," which was Muse's signature song. And I think part of the reasoning behind that song was that nobody would think you would like Pink. And it was a good song that kind of fit the rhythm of Pears, but didn't really fit a normal routine.
I think for me, I like the female singer with us as a team.
Mm-hmm.
And we've done, mostly girl doggies too.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, because we have done pairs with other dogs, but most people haven't seen that.
Yeah, but those were kind of also silly.
Yeah,
As a joke.
one-offs or whatever.
Yeah,
or,
with Sketch and Enzo.
yes,
Those
and
were
then
funny.
Link is coming up, we'll see. But yeah, I know. I'm trying to think.
Didn't you pick Silhouette? I thought you did.
I did. That's
Yeah,
right.
you did.
I was. What was what's the name of the freaking song?
It's called So What. The song is called So What.
I thought we did.
Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. With Muse?
You're right, but we're with. Oh, I thought you were saying Soa.
No, Muse. You said Muse.
The song we did with Sora.
Oh, the
I thought
song
you
we
were
did
saying
with
Soa,
Sora.
and I'm thinking you're saying so what?
Oh, no.
I'm
saying.
understanding what
I'm
you're
not
saying.
using Sora's nickname.
I picked the Sora song.
You did pick the Sora song.
You didn't know the song.
You picked both songs.
Yeah, you didn't know the Sora song.
Hang on.
And I said, how are we not using this already? And then,
I didn't math this
what's
out
the
right.
name of the
For
song for Sora? What's the name of the song?
Blow.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is such a
cool...
cool...
the artist? Remind...
Eva Under Fire.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good song.
Oh, that was a tough one because I don't really listen to them very much, but she's really good. Really.
That was a really good
cool
song. It's a
singer.
good pick. So now you've picked both of the Pears songs.
Uh-oh, now I have nothing to do with the
I actually picked the
next
original
one.
Sora Pears Freestyle, but we weren't sold on it. It was a Hailstorm song.
Yes, that is very true.
I don't remember what it was, but
We
it's fine.
had another song with Muse, and I can't remember. I think it was another Pink song, wasn't it?
No. Didn't we use Panic Station?
Maybe that's what... Oh, that could have been what it was.
Something like that.
I wanted to use Stupid Girls.
So What was the right choice. And Sora's newer song is a good one too. So we'll have to figure out what we're going to do with Link, but maybe it should be something different.
You have to pick, though. I got to be out of the...
Well, maybe
I don't even have an option.
Well, I don't know. You did good on the other two, so maybe third time you can come up with another good freestyle song.
I think the best freestyle song that we've done in pairs out of everything is Blow. I think that is such a cool song.
That's a good song.
It's just like, could use that with almost any dog or whatever. Like, it's just cool. People don't know it, they'll still like it. It's got some poppy feel to it,
Yeah.
rock. Yeah, she's a great singer.
Anything else you want to add about freestyle music?
The only thing
You're
I want to
so
say
passionate about
I am.
music.
Pick what you like.
That's it?
Yep.
Just pick what you like?
Pick what you like. Don't worry what anyone is. What I'm.
Yeah, I
implying.
think that's fair.
Pick what you like. Of course, what goes with your dog and all that kind of thing. Just what feels right to you. That's
Definitely
my suggestion.
don't just use something because it's popular or you think others are going to like it if you don't like it.
Yes, especially when someone says, "Oh, you should do this," and you're like, "I don't really like that song, but they're telling me I should use it." Don't ever follow that kind of advice. Is my recommendation. You can do anything you like, but
Yeah. Yeah.
What about
I
you?
agree
What
with that.
would you use?
No, I kind of agree with that. Trust me, I didn't stop using One Last Thrill because it wasn't liked. That wasn't why. I just thought Do What You Want was a better freestyle song, even though One Last Thrill is one of my favorite songs. But
Yeah.
I still would bring it out occasionally, time to time. But
Yeah,
Torch really liked the Do What You Want song.
my most favorite songs. If I took like my top 10, I've never gotten even close to doing any of those songs. I just don't
See,
fit.
I
They
think a
just
lot of
don't
my
fit.
favorite songs are my freestyle songs, but part of the reason they become my favorite songs is because I use them for freestyle. So I kind of...
I'd say closest for me is
Yeah.
Before I Forget by Slipknot, because that's definitely one of my favorite songs from them, and they're one of my favorite bands. So that's the closest, but like all the other songs I love, I've never even really considered.
I also think I view music with the Disc Dog freestyle. I don't want to say glasses, that doesn't make sense, but kind of like they come through my ears being filtered by, should this be a freestyle song or not? Like, do I like this as a freestyle song is usually kind of the first question, and then the second is, do I still like it as a song if it's not a freestyle song? And a lot of the times the answer is no. I think starting disc dogging so young, I'm like trained to just view music as freestyle song or not? And then if it's not, do I still like it?
What's your biggest regret song doing? Is it
You already know.
Fire and Flames?
Yeah, you already know. Well, it's just kind of ridiculous.
Mine was a song, I can't even remember the name of the band. It's actually a pretty good song, but the quality wasn't really good. It was like an independent artist. And I think the song was called Spank. But I did it at the IDC, and this particular one.
Oh, it sounded really bad.
It sounded terrible. Actually, I came off and people were like, was your song playing? They couldn't even hear it.
I kind of remember this.
Yes, everyone was like, we couldn't even hear your song. And I'm like, I should have known better. The quality wasn't great. I regret it for that reason. I never did it again.
Yeah, definitely don't like randomly download your songs to use them or like record them. Back in the day when we used to have to record sounds for our ringtones and stuff. Don't do that kind of thing.
Don't pull out a tape.
No. Anymore, don't pull out a CD either. Those are outdated too. Anyway, so I think that's it. We've
killed this one. Oh my God.
The horse.
I thought this was going to be a 15-minute discussion. But then the problem is I love music too much.
No,
so I
knew this is going to be like a never ending. Jeff could just do the whole podcast about music forever. He could just go on about it. It could just be about music.
Yes, every band, singer, guitar player, bassist, drummer, rappers, whatever, old music, new music.
He could just go on. It doesn't even have to do anything with Disc Dogs. He'll just go on about music. Alrighty, well, thank you guys for watching. Tell us how you pick your freestyle songs, what your favorite freestyle song is. If somebody else has used a song that you really like, if you're on YouTube and can comment below, let us know what you like. Thanks. Bye.